Hey, so as a parent, I know that it's my responsibility to teach my child financial smarts, to try and set them up for financial success. But I wanted to look on the internet and see if there were any recommendations for how to go about doing that. And I'm so glad I did, because when I hopped on Google and started looking around, I started coming across articles that were actually talking about how to teach your child to live in poverty. I was thinking, what the heck is this? What are you talking about? And obviously nobody wants to do that. So let's find out what this is talking about. And oh my goodness, simple habits that are so easy to accidentally teach your child can set them on the track for living in intense amounts of debt, living in poverty. And so contrasting some of the habits that were leading to people living in poverty or living in insane amounts of debt as adults, well, some of those habits included things like spending more than 1 hour of screen time per day, or things like only encouraging reading of fiction books. And obviously, if you looked at our bookshelves at home, oh my goodness, I want my kid to read stories that, set his imagination on fire, that have dragons and ninjas and all those great things. But to only encourage children in reading fiction can actually set them up for poverty, because they're not being exposed to nonfiction, actual literature that is going to teach them something new. And not to say that you can't learn anything from fantasy novels, but there are all these teachers out there, and they're missing the opportunity to learn from other people's successes, hearing their life stories or hearing their ideas. And so taking a look at some of the different articles and lists that were then posted: habits of the rich. What do rich people teach their kids? How do you set your child up for financial success? It wasn't just about mathematical equations and this percentage of your income should go to this and this percentage of your income should go to that, but instead also included things like drastically limiting screen time, taking a look at encouraging your child to read or listen to nonfiction books, investing in making sure that anytime there's a special event for somebody who's a mentor to them, whether a teacher or a coach, that they actually actively wish them happy birthday or congratulate them when something happens. It's building relationships, it's continuous learning, it's making sure that they are active, because even looking at the percentages of sedentary children going on to either be rich or live in poverty, sedentary children are more likely to live in poverty, intense amounts of debt, whereas active, healthy children are actually more likely to become financially successful, probably because they have the energy for it. So I'm so glad that I looked that up. I really encourage you, hop on Google and just start asking questions like, what do rich parents teach their kids? Or I found a great website, look for Rich Habits, and I forget if it's .org or .net, but this guy put together an incredible collection of things that even includes a Rich Habits test for parents. You can Google Rich Habits Test for Parents.pdf and it'll pull up the document for you. But just some great things. And we've already gotten started. I put my kid in the chariot behind my bike. We biked to the library and we went and got some audiobooks. So we do a lot of traveling, and so now I'm starting to play nonfiction books in the background while we're going along, and I've already been learning stuff. So my guy, he's not that big, and I realize that he has no idea what a bunch of the stuff is that he's hearing, but I remember intensely a bunch of the things playing in the background while we were traveling when I was a kid. I grew up with incredible music, and I know so many of the oldies, just so many different artists where those were the tapes, those were the CDs that my parents played. And if I'm playing nonfiction books that are going to be teaching my kid about healthy financial principles, or they're inspiring stories of real people who have overcome great obstacles and my son can learn from those stories, I'm hoping that those end up being memories that are beneficial for him. So we'll play some good tunes, but we're also going to be playing some good books. And your local library, you do not have to spend a ton of money to make this happen. So maybe if you start incorporating listening to nonfiction books on CD while driving on long car trips, wow, that means that you now get to go to the library as a family, which is an awesome thing. You get to listen to beneficial things while you're driving together as a family. There's just a lot of different benefits, and this is only one of the habits that was encouraged for teaching kids strong financial skills for being financially successful. So I'm excited about this concept. I actually printed off the Rich Habits test, which has something like 40 questions, or essentially 40 points. Are you doing this for your kid? And I taped it over top of our diaper change table so that every time I go to change my kid's diaper, I'm constantly looking at that inspiration. And the cool thing is, just one of the books that I got I was interested in this one. I've read some of David Bach's other stuff, and so Start Late, Finish Rich. I just thought, okay, well, I'll check this out. And he already made some suggestions that helped me to rebalance my RRSP portfolio, so I'm now even better on my way to retirement. It's not just for your kids, it's for you. So I hope that's helpful, and yeah, just make sure you hop on Google and take a look at both sides of the picture. How to teach your child to be rich, how to teach your child to live in poverty, look for the different habits, see which category you're lining up in, and maybe we can set our kids and ourselves up for financial success. So I hope that's helpful for you. All the best. Bye.